How's it going, everybody? Texas Man here. I hope you guys are all having a fabulous day. Please give this video a thumbs up if you guys really enjoy it. Subscribe if you guys have not already. Also, do me the biggest favor of all, hit that bell notification button so you guys don't miss out on future videos or streams here on my channel. Also, if you guys would, make sure to head over to Twitch. Follow me there at Douglas447. I stream there at least once a week. And this was a subscriber request movie to watch and review, and we're going to be talking about positives and negatives, talking about the movie Dunkirk from 2017. This movie is about an hour and 46 minutes long. On average, it's about $4 to rent, $15 to buy. And we're just going to jump right in. And thank you for the person that asked me to rewatch this movie again. I've seen this movie like at least 50 times now. I enjoy watching this film, but it's not something necessarily that I'm always giddy to rewatch. This is a good World War II film. However, when I think of wanting to plug in a World War II movie, Dunkirk never is in the top 10 films that I actually want to rewatch. It's not a very rewatchable movie that you're like, oh, I really like that, let's rewatch it, really fast. I would rather honestly watch something like Saving Private Ryan or Hacksaw Ridge. This movie's not bad. Let me state that. This movie is not bad. I just don't have the desire to rewatch it like some people do compared to other World War II films. This movie has fantastic acting, and of course it is written, directed, and produced by the legendary Christopher Nolan, who is responsible for some of the greatest movies we've gotten from Hollywood, like Inception, The Dark Knight trilogy, Interstellar, and much more. The sound design is outstanding, especially the quality for the sirens when like bombers or fighters are coming in to attack, the evacuation ships. The siren sound is just awesome. They nailed it. And the water. I know this is kind of silly, but the design of how the water sounds when it's splashing up and it's hitting the beach, or people are swimming or running through the water. The sound design, the sound quality is just top notch. It's really well done. This film also doesn't hide the horror of war. When you're watching this movie, it shows you that war is horrible. It shows you that World War II wasn't something fun. It wasn't, sunshine and unicorns. It was war. It was deadly. It was horrific. This film is able to capture the essence of World War II without having to use a D-Day invasion scene. And instead, it shows the struggles of retreating with few ways of being able to accomplish it. Like, they are stuck in that beach trying to escape annihilation from the German army. And in a way, if you've seen any World War II movie that has a D-Day invasion movie, and then you rewatch this film's kind of like D-Day, but backwards, where instead of the enemy attacking the beach, you have the good guys retreating to a beach while they're being attacked. And I think that's pretty cool. This film has numerous satisfying spectacle-like action sequences mixed in with some really heartfelt emotion. This film's also very, very accurate to the evacuation that took place in 1940, and it's really cool just to see the different type of European troops in the movie. You've got British, you've got some from Belgium, France, and I honestly think if you guys are interested for something a little different, something a little bit off the rails that isn't your typical D-Day invasion and let's go, knock on Hitler's front door type of movie, I think you'll enjoy this. It's a really well done film. However, there are two major negatives that I need to discuss about this movie. First of all, the film at times feels rushed and like it's too short. Like I said, this movie is about an hour and 40 minutes long. I feel like if this movie had an extra 30 minutes, it might have allowed for more action, more character growth, especially for the fact that this film has 3 different timelines going on all at once. So because of that, you have a really hard time connecting to these characters because you have so many different characters in different parts of the world doing different things all at once. Like, it's not easy to connect. That's what kind of makes like Band of Brothers kind of like a really special TV show. I'm just using that for an example for the review. But it's like you have all these different characters, and yes, they are technically spread away from each other, but there's a sense of connection. I didn't feel like I was able to be connected to these characters. They don't meet up at all in this movie. Even when all 3 of the timelines come together at the end to end the movie, none of these characters really see each other. They never get to say thank you or whatnot. It's just a big, help the evacuees, and I'm in the military trying to evacuate. You have a hard time connecting with these characters. You don't feel an emotional investment. Like, you want them to, obviously survive the tragedy that's coming towards them. But as a character piece, this movie kind of doesn't deliver as much as I would want it to. And then secondly, the film allows time jumping. Like, what I mean by that is it jumps around with 3 timelines way too much. Like I said, this movie is like an hour and 40 minutes long. Well, you have 3 timelines. So in general, each timeline's getting like 30 minutes of screen time. So what the film kind of does is like it'll spend like 10 minutes on one timeline, jumps to the next timeline, spends 10 minutes there, jumps to the third timeline, spends 10 minutes there. Then sometimes it'll jump back to the first one, or it'll jump back to the second, and it's just a big, gigantic, jumbled mess. I really wish, instead of it being timeline, new timeline, new timeline, new timeline, I wish the film kind of did like a 3-part act, where it spent 30 minutes on one story, then it moved on to part 2 for the second timeline for the second story, told that within those 30 minutes, moved on to act 3, told those 30 minutes of that third timeline, and then the last 10 minutes or so is all 3 timelines comes together and makes for a grand finale. I feel like the film's structure needed a lot more time to perfect. That way you're not confused. Because like the first time I watched this movie, I was confused until I actually got to the ending. Like, I really didn't know how these 3 timelines were supposed to connect until the very end. And then when you rewatch it, it does make more sense. But on a first impressions basis, the whole different timeline aspect kind of makes the film jarring to watch for a first viewing. Overall, guys, I think Dunkirk is a pretty decent film. It's not something that I would suggest to watch as your first World War II movie, but it's an okay movie. I have a blast watching it. I own it on Blu-ray, and I watch it on occasion. So with that, I'm going to give the movie a 7.5 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys have a great one, and I'll see you guys all in the next video or stream.